My name is Chandra Covington, and I'm a reporter for the Deseret News, Utah's second largest daily newspaper. Think that's glamorous? Well, you should try writing a 600-word article on a charity fundraiser for the upteenth time. And that bi-monthly paycheck always seems to last you up until 2 weeks before the next one. Still sound glamorous? Well then, you should get out more. Chandra Covington has always been curious, and when she inherits a house from her grandmother, she finds her long-lost grandfather dead on the floor. Unknowingly, Chandra steps into a world of past hate and betrayal by the one she thought loved her most. Will Chandra's story end just like her grandfather's? Will her secret always be locked inside The House of Secrets by Jeffrey S. Savage? I don't know if I lean towards Clay or if he leaned towards me, but suddenly I was kissing him. In the cool night air, everything seemed to stop. The crickets in the hayfield, even the sound of my own beating heart, just stopped. Wow. I need to go inside, and you need to get to work. I know Sheriff hates it when you're late. Clay, be careful. As Clay walked to his patrol car, I wondered if his feet floated above the ground, just like mine did. The next day, when I came out of the sheriff's office, there's a lot when you find your grandfather dead on the floor. My car decided it didn't want to start. So Pete, Clay's grandfather, decided that he was nice enough to give me a ride. Climbing in, I watched as the town faded away, leaving open countryside. Something was wrong with Pete. His hands gripped the steering wheel so hard that his knuckles were white. Red splotches were beginning to appear on his cheeks. Pete, my grandfather told my grandmother that if anything happened to him, then she should talk to you. Do you know something? Pete reached with his right hand into his pocket and pulled out a gun. The barrel seemed to be at least 12 inches long, the black beady eye at the end, and that eye was pointing right at me. When we pulled into Pete's yard, I sprinted out of the truck into the barn. Looking around, I saw nothing to defend myself with. I could hear Pete's steps coming closer and closer to the doors of the barn. In seconds, he'd be here and I would be dead. This was it. It was when, looking around one last time, I noticed in the corner the ladder leading to the loft. Quickly, I scaled it, but in the loft there was nothing but hay. Walking over to the door of the loft, I looked out into the yard. It was at least 30 feet down. I couldn't survive a fall like that. This was it. This was the end of... My foot touched something in the straw. Reaching down, it was a pitchfork. Slowly, an idea formed in my head. When Pete came into the loft, he looked around, confused. I jumped out at him and I raked his left arm with the pitchfork. His gun flew off into the hay. Dropping the pitchfork, I went for where I saw the gun land. But the force of Pete hit my back and I fell into the hay. Turning, I looked and saw Pete holding the discarded pitchfork like a javelin, bringing it slowly towards my face. Closing my eyes, I waited for the pain to come. "What's going on?" Opening my eyes, I turned and saw Clay. Pushing Pete off me, I went to him. Clay, he's trying to kill me. Please help me. Is this true? Shanna, I'm so sorry. Everything will be all right soon. Soon? Something was wrong with Clay. There was a wild-eyed look in his eyes. He wasn't right. I'm so sorry I had to get mixed up in this. But the pain that you feel now will be over soon. What are you doing, Clay? Clay! Clay, shoot her. I told you she knew too much. End it now. I told you to go away, but you just kept digging. I'm sorry. Clay, do it now. Sorry. He's my grandfather. I have to. He's the only family I have left. This isn't about family. You only see what he has. That's why he killed my grandfather, and that's why you want to kill me. This isn't about family. I'm sorry. Clay, you're taking too long. Give me the gun. I'll do it. I looked over towards the door. An insane urge to jump filled my gut. Don't you think about it, Sandra. Even if you survive the fall, I'd still have to come down there and kill you. Clay, just give me the gun. Pete went for the gun, and while they were fighting over it, I turned and ran the last few steps towards the door. I couldn't think about anything. There wasn't time to think about anything. All I could do was throw myself into the air and let everything take care of itself.